Hey guys, Tracy from my Chow line. Got a special Hunter's Edition cook going on here. So I was selected for a quota hunt, and it's deer season here in Georgia. So I was able to harvest a doe, and so I've got the heart and the loins, and I'm going to grill those up today and give you a little bit of demonstration of that. And the heart is one of those things that most people don't think about. I ask my processor to save the heart because it's full of minerals and nutrients that you don't get from everything else. And the loins are really good. So we're going to grill those up with some grill your ass off seasonings. We're going to be using Ma Deuce and some Worcestershire. So we'll get this going. I've got the fire rolling. I'm going to grab the meats now, and we'll get them seasoned up in just a minute. I'll show you how we do that. All right, so here we have our loins and our heart from our doe here. These loins have silver skin still on them, so I'll have to pull that off. That's the best way to make sure that it stays tender. I mean, you can cross-cut these, but it's still going to be chewy. So silver skin's not good to eat. Doesn't cook well, doesn't break down unless you get it really hot for a long, slow cook. So we're not doing that. We're just doing a grill. So we're going to pull this off, the silver skin off, and then I'm going to slice up the heart into steaks. And then we'll season, and we'll get those on the grill. And you know, venison is one of those things. It's a whole lot of fun to go get it. It's technically free meat out there, usually with it, because you don't have to go pay for the meat itself at the grocery store. But it's one of the most expensive meats out there because of all the money you spend on camouflage, your hunting license, the gas to go out to the field, your ammo, your guns, the snacks, the little Debbie snacks for the tree. All the little things, the accoutrement that you use to go harvest the deer. Some people don't spend that much on it. Some guys go crazy and they have like four-wheelers and feeders if they have private land and all the things, right? And you know, that makes it the most expensive prime meat out there. But okay, so we'll start at the bottom, and we're going to do like nice, healthy, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch steaks. We're going to grill this up real fast, hot and fast, and try to keep it close to medium rare, more medium.
You're definitely going to have to rinse it out.
Yep, going to have to rinse it out. So you got blood clots. So I tried rinsing it out to get the blood out of the heart right when I was, because I processed this deer myself. But we'll rinse that out real quick, and then we'll season it up. But yeah, so you can see here, we're going to grill them up just like that after we season them. So we'll clean these up, dry them off, and season them up. All right, so now we're going to take and we're going to little dab of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sauce, W sauce, whatever you want to call it, however you call it. We're going to spread a little bit of that on it, let that soak for a little bit. We might pat it dry, and then add our seasoning to it. We want to have an opportunity to. You don't need a ton of it. It's got a lot of flavor. It's, you know, some of the best stuff on steaks out there. So we're gonna let this soak in it a little bit, and then we'll add our seasoning to it after it's had a little bit to. Oop! I didn't flip that one over. After it's had a little bit of time, we'll pat it dry, and then we'll add our Ma Deuce. All right, so we let them sit for 5-10 minutes. Ideally, you probably want to go 10 to 15, maybe 20. The longer you let it sit with the Worcestershire, the more that'll umami flavor that it provides soaks into the meat. But we're trying to do a quick cook. It's getting late, so we're trying to get it before the sun gets down. Too bad I don't have my cover anymore, which means I don't have my lights anymore other than portable lights. So, or the sun. So we're trying to make do with what we have here. But so we're going to take the Ma Deuce and we're going to apply generously to these because we're going to be flipping them a bunch on the grill to sear them on the outside, but we want a nice even coat on the outside. And we're going to let it sit with this on it for another 5 to 10 minutes minimum till it starts to set. That way the seasonings don't fall off as easily. But yeah, Ma Deuce, going to go on. I patted them dry a little bit. You're not going crazy. You don't mind them being a little bit wet. That Worcestershire sauce is pretty good stuff, so it's okay if it hangs out a little bit in the grooves and stuff. You're not trying to dry it as dry as a, you know, like you're putting it in the dryer. You don't have to do that, but you want to get as much of that moisture off because it takes longer to cook with that moisture. We're going to have a nice hot grill going because we're going to try and go for probably around medium rare, medium on these. You can do that where you know where the meat came from. Don't recommend doing that with meat you're not sure of. And I love this Ma Deuce because it's got a little bit of everything in it, man. It smells wonderful. It's a good steak seasoning, and that's what this is. This is a red meat steak. It's gonna be really good. Heart's not common. Not everybody. A lot of hunters I know do, but not everyone does. That organ meat sometimes is overlooked by a lot of hunters. They just go, oh, that's weird. Ooh, you know. But it's actually really good. It's a delicacy, which means that not everybody likes the way it tastes. That's what delicacy means. Because you know, if you've ever had a delicacy somewhere, it's like, ew, that's horrible. It's because it's what they like to eat because it's tradition or
an acquired taste.
An acquired taste. So heart is an acquired taste, I would believe, but it's good, and it has lots of iron, has lots of other good value. So
is it a completely different flavor than the loins?
Yes. The structure of the muscle is different. I mean, the muscle fibers, they're tighter. It is a tougher meat, but it can also be tender too because it is a heavily worked muscle. Depending on the age of the animal, depends on how tough it is, but it is a highly nutritious meal. Very dense. I mean, you could just, if you were to look at the fibers of the muscle in the heart versus the muscle fibers in that loin, much tighter grains, much more going on there. I mean, it's the one muscle that always, whether they're sleeping, whether they're standing, whether they're sitting, it's always working, just like your heart.
And it's a smooth muscle.
Yes, very smooth, and there is very little fat in it too. It's very lean, so it's all, most of the fat is going to be on the outside of it or right around the valves, at the top where the arteries come in to meet the heart. Like this one's got some fat on the outside, and it's a different kind of fat than you would have, say, on other muscles. It's a harder fat, so we'll probably trim those off as we eat it. But it might render down with the flames because we're doing it pretty hot. We're going to sear it, flip it, pull it off. It's going to be a fairly quick cook. So we're going to set these aside and let them rest, clean up, pop a beer open, and enjoy it. Our fire's just about ready. So it's a traditional method that most hunters have done since the dawn of time. One, they didn't let it go, but two, there was a lot of symbology with it, and there's a desire to eat it somewhat because of the nutrient levels that are in it. Most hunters the Native Americans did practice it a lot. In fact, they took it as a way of taking on the power of that animal and a way to pass that to continue the life of that animal, to respect the animal's sacrifice. So there's stuff like that. I mean, I'm not fully involved in that, but it's got a lot of nutrients in it that people will say that's one of the reasons why they ate it, and they just had to come up with a way to force people to eat it. But most people have been eating them for millennia. What we got here is I got kind of my grill set up. I've got my fire my charcoal all on one side. I got a cool zone over here. When you're doing something hot and fast, you want to make sure you have an area that's cool, so that if it looks like it's getting cooked too fast, you want to set it off to the side and let it rest for a minute. You can without having to worry about having to pull it completely off the grill. So we're going to take our loins, take our hearts. We're going to set those hearts right back here on the edge of our fire because they're a little thinner. They'll cook up faster. And we'll take our loins like that right there. Oh man, that's already smelling good. So we're going to do that right there. Let those go for a little bit, and then we'll flip them and check them in just a minute. Some of this up. We're going to go with the loin first. Yeah, I'm almost on medium. I almost let it go too much. Look at that right there. You can see it's probably a good medium rare. Let's take a bite. Oh, it's juicy. Where's my apron? I can't find my apron. Oh, that's good.
All right.
Oh,
I gotta try.
there you go, honey. Try a piece. Juicy.
You see how?
Let's try a piece of this heart. Yeah, it doesn't taste like deer at all, does it?
It tastes like a.
That tastes gamey. All right. Taste some of this heart. That's actually pretty tender. Oh my goodness, that's good. Hurry up with that piece, honey. You got another piece. Got a piece of heart here. So you can see the grains on this are very tight. Oh my goodness, the texture is different, but man, this has got great flavor. This is a great steak seasoning. It makes a good piece of meat taste even better. But this is good.
I'm really surprised. I didn't think I would like the heart, but it's good.
It's good.
It is really good. I think the Ma Deuce seasoning just really pulls out the flavors.
It's got good umami. This is nice and tender. A little bit of a chew, not much. Remember, it's the loin, it's not the tenderloin. So it's not as tender as the tenderloin. But man, that's good. So, next time you're out hunting and you take your deer to the processor, ask him for the heart. Or process yourself. Grab the heart. Next deer we get, I'm going to try to get the liver and the heart, and we're going to do a pate.
Yeah.
So,
make sure you use that Ma Deuce Steak Seasoning.
this is right here. Is fire. My goodness. That's so good I almost forgot I had a beer. Okay. I'm going to eat this. Y'all go back to whatever y'all were doing. I know I'm doing tonight.